Hey guys, thank you for joining me and thank you for watching my live last night. If you guys didn't get the live, make sure you check it out. I talked for about an hour non-stop. There's some great information and you can learn a lot, I think, from those live videos. Make sure you check out my links below. I know we've had a lot of people looking into my macros. The macros are there to make your inspections go faster because you can write the estimates super fast by already having prefab lists of items that typically go in your estimates. So for those guys that are brand new, even the guys that are experienced and trying to figure out how to build estimates, the macros will help you out. So make sure you check those out. So today, I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the after effects of Hurricane Ian. Sometimes people will wonder, well, I didn't get deployed on this one. Sometimes that's okay, because the event was pretty substantial, and if you are a brand new adjuster walking into that scenario of total devastation, it's actually going to be really hard for you to function properly and accurately as a good adjuster. So typically what I recommend in a scenario like that for a new adjuster is to potentially move towards the outskirts of the storm, so that maybe you're dealing with just wind damage, smaller claims, not devastation where it's like blowing the house apart, but where it's done the typical wind damage that a hurricane does or a significant wind event does. It will help you to write an estimate a whole lot better if you're only just writing for wind damage and you're maybe a little bit of water entry into the house, but you're not writing like these $20,000 and $30,000 and $40,000 estimates for your first estimates you've ever wrote. So great opportunity for you to be on the outskirts to gain that experience in writing those estimates. Now, I mentioned that a good opportunity for new adjusters is to look for opportunities in desk adjusting. And the reason why that's so important is that if you're brand new to the system, you're brand new to understanding insurance, the policy is a really important part of understanding insurance and coverage. Those are the things that you're going to learn as a desk adjuster that will certainly help you in the field. As you're wandering around looking at damage, you already have an idea in your head, well, you know, this is wear and tear, or this is long-term water damage, or etc., whatever. But as a policy, you've got to kind of keep that in your head, because you could spend a ton of time talking to people, writing up a very large estimate, and then find out later there was no policy coverage for that, and you just wasted a whole bunch of time. And the reason why that's important is sometimes when I get into a scenario where I see some long-term water damage, I see mold, I see rot, things that are just so common that have taken years to develop, fascia that's totally destroyed and falling off, and maybe the gutter fell off because of that rot. When I go to write the estimate, I actually cannot write an estimate for the damage and just basically state in a line item, like an F9 note, wear and tear based on long-term damage. So that might prevent me from spending a whole lot of time writing this estimate for something that's not going to be covered. Now, I don't make coverage decisions, but because I learned about the policy and learned about stuff that is covered and stuff that isn't covered, it can really help you in the field when you go to write your estimates and save you a bunch of time. So just keep that in mind. Now, also for the guys who didn't get deployed, the reason why you typically don't get deployed is because you really didn't have your resume looking like ship shape. Really has to pop. It really has to have stuff in it that makes somebody go, that's an adjuster who's got some experience, or maybe they don't have experience, but they certainly have the training. So that's what I would focus on before the next event occurs, because you know next year is hail season, and that's a great opportunity to make a ton of money on a catastrophe event, is hail season. So what I would spend the time doing between now and the springtime is make sure you get your certifications, get your level 1 and 2 on Xactimate. You could even, potentially get some HAG certification if you really want it. That's kind of over the top. Don't necessarily think you need it. But maybe you need to do some more continuing education courses. Maybe you need to get State Farm certification, property and auto certification, so you're ready to go when that hail season hits, because you got to remember, autos get damaged immensely during a hail event. And so you can get deployed as an auto adjuster really quickly because everybody has 2 cars typically, versus 1 house. So you can actually have twice as many auto claims as you could property claims, and that could really open up the door for somebody to pop in and get some experience as an adjuster in auto. I started in auto. It was great. I learned policy, I learned liability, I learned total loss. I didn't get into the medical side of things, but there's a whole nother side of medical. Get into special investigation unit stuff. Oh, there's fraud. I mean, all sorts of stuff in auto. It's actually quite exciting. There's lots of stuff there. Certainly an opportunity for anyone to jump into that with no experience whatsoever, because they train you at everything you need to know. So just keep that in mind if you're looking to try and get deployed for the spring coming up. Just get that training going. Gotta have the certifications, get your licenses. It was really neat last night. A couple of people were talking to me and they were saying, hey, I'm getting a bunch of licenses. And I'm like, that's perfect. Because if on your resume you're able to list down maybe 7, 8, 10 licenses, and these are popular states for damages, then the firms are going to look at that and go, yeah, that's a great adjuster. He's prepared. He's got a bunch of licenses. And they don't have to worry about you getting those licenses once you get to the office. You already have those. And then also check on catadjuster.com or actually .org. Make sure you check on there. There's lots of roster signups on that. You can get signed up with rosters, so fill out tons and tons and tons. When I first got started, it was about 40 rosters that I got signed up on. I've talked to some that have been on even more. So yeah, the more the merrier, because that'll give you an opportunity for somebody to call you for work. So hey, start the process now so you can guarantee yourself to get it deployed in the spring. And Daniel the Adjuster here, helping you become the best adjuster. Take care.